Okay, welcome to our team call tonight. I'm trying, Breezy, is there any announcements that I am missing? I forgot to ask you if we had anything that you wanted to talk about.
I have pregnancy brain. I don't do good on the spot with pregnancy brain.
I do not, by the way.
Just maybe keep posting your invites on the the June refresh post. And there's still time to catch up.
Yes. And if you haven't posted your weekly totals from last week, we are doing weekly prizes. So if you haven't updated that doc with the weekly prize, if you haven't been doing it the last couple weeks, you still can jump right in, especially you new coaches that might be on for the first time just to get going. We are doing weekly prizes as well. So if you haven't edited that doc, make sure that gets edited so we can send that out to you guys this week. So, and then there's something else I was going to say and I forgot. Oh, Summit. Don't forget, we're trying to figure out hotels and everything because, we have rooms booked, people canceled, all that good stuff. So we're trying to make sure we get the rooms filled because, the deadline has passed where we had to put down, at least the first night's hotel room, which is $200. So we need to make sure we get those filled. So if you're not going to fill them, if you don't have coaches, we need to make sure we get them posted somewhere else and make sure those rooms all get filled. So that was the other thing I was thinking of. But yes. So anyways, we'll just go ahead and jump in. And tonight's team call is going to be a little bit different than our normal team call. And I hope you guys had a chance to watch the video that I had posted in the Tribe page because I want you guys, first of all, as I begin to talk, I want you guys to really think about your personal development. And especially if you're a new coach, especially if you're a veteran coach, I want to hear, we're all at different parts of this journey. We've all had our ups and downs, and maybe if you're a brand new coach, you haven't had an up or you haven't had a down yet. But you will. It's part of the journey. And the whole process of this is to enjoy the ride and to become a better person from the inside out because of this. I am a completely different person than I was 2.5 years ago. But it stems from the inside. And there is no way, if you the very first time I ever did a team call, no joke, I was petrified, so scared. I was so used to teaching, but it was to little, 6-year-olds. And this was a scary opportunity. And it stretched me, but there was no way I would have been able to do this, to lead calls and to lead my own personal calls 2 years ago. My anxiety would have been way over the top, and there's no way that you would have pushed me and said the right things for me to do that more than once. I mean, I do this more frequently now, but it was a big deal when I did my first one, and I think I had a 6-month break after that. It wasn't like I was doing them regularly. So I've changed. I've let my anxiety get in the way of a lot of things in my life, and I, for the first time ever this year, went to Super Saturday. It took me 2 years to attend a Super Saturday because of it. And so personal development has changed my life, and it's changed my business. And during this crazy journey, I have had the ultimate highs, and I've had the ultimate lows. And I'm in a low right now. And I have two options. I can throw in the towel and say it's hard and I don't want to move on. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth it. But I know what it's done for me. I know what it's done for my relationship with my kids and my spouse. And I know that I've grown tremendously as a person. So there's no way that I would throw in the towel just because it's hard right now. And we're only halfway through the year. I failed at so many goals where I thought I'd be. And I want you guys to realize that. I was going to take a little time, I forgot just before we started, but for those of you who don't know me, I know there's some new coaches on, and I'm Ashley. I've been doing this for like 2 years, about 2.5 years now. I've been coaching, and I ended the year super awesome and on a cloud nine. I was a premier coach, ended the year at 2-star diamond, and things were good. And the first 4 months of this month have been phenomenal. And the last couple months have been a super struggle. And it's not that I have had growth. I've still done well, and I've still seen things, but like my growth has been stagnant, or, my numbers have been dropping, and my income has dropped this last month tremendously. And I could sit there and complain, and I do sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I'm not perfect. I am natural, and I still have struggles. But my personal development is what has made me crawl out of these slumps. And it's been hard. The last 2 months have been extremely hard. For those of you who don't know, I finally have 2 Success Club points this month. And I know some of you guys sit here and think, oh yeah, Ashley's at Success Club, Ashley does this, and because I hear it from my own, PS coaches sometimes. And how can you be struggling if you hit Success Club 10 last month, or, the last whatever month? And you've got to realize that is hard when you've been hitting in the 20s, sometimes in the 30s, and you go and you're barely scraped by. I ended up with 12 last month, and that's only because I had an unexpected order come through the last day of the month, and so I had the extra 12, but I barely got 10. I was pushing. And I know some of you guys are still thinking, so you're complaining because you hit Success Club 10? No, I'm not complaining. I worked extremely hard for that, and I'm still working extremely hard. I'm at Success Club 2 right now. And I said, I have those options. I can sit here and just say, it's hard. I'm not going to show up tomorrow. And I will tell you, there's been 2 days this month during my work days that I had planned out, I didn't, because I needed the break. And my family was more important, and my family is more important. And so sometimes we do that. But if I didn't have that personal development in my life, it would be so easy to throw my hands up and quit. I've done it several times in my life where I didn't want to go on anymore. I didn't want to do it, and I threw in the towel and I quit. And it's just not worth it. So I've said this before, there's been so many times in that first year especially. I think the first year of building this business is almost one of the hardest things, because you are trying to find you and who you are and your brand and your niche. And that first year is extremely hard. And then you hit that second year and it just seems to get a little bit easier. And then you hit that third year, from what I hear and where I'm going now, it gets hard again. And it's that roller coaster ride. And so, there were so many times on my phone, because again, I'm not a confrontational person. I literally had the message to send Breezy, who's my coach, the message that I was done. And I never could fully hit that send button, because I knew who I had become. And I knew that I didn't want to go backwards. And I knew I didn't want to become the person who had a hard time getting out of bed because I was depressed and I hated life. And so, but I'm so glad and I'm so grateful, because that first couple months, I didn't do personal development. It seems stupid to me. That's the only word I can even use, is stupid. It seemed ridiculous that I hate to read. Like I said, I taught first grade, so if it's longer than a picture book, I just don't. And so I was thinking, what a waste of my time. I already read my scriptures, I'm good to go. And for me, that was my personal development. And so when I was checking in, I was oh, I read scriptures, cool. And I think that is extremely important, but that is not my personal development anymore. I do that and work on my spiritual health and my emotional health, but I also add personal development into my life. Am I always 100% perfect? No. Do I wish I was better? Yes. But if I had sent that message to Breezy saying I was done because it was hard, how much if I would have been able to put in a, video of where my life would be a year later and the people I had met, the income that we've seen grow, the lives that I've changed, the messages I've received, the 5K that I just ran, like I wouldn't have ever accomplished any of that had I not had that personal development in my life. And had I, not sent that message, or had I sent that message, and had I not been reading my personal development, that message would have been super easy to send to her. And that is what held me back from ever hitting that send button to her, was the fact that I knew that I was a better person than I was 2 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. And now I look and I'm a much better person than I was, 2 years ago. So, if you're not doing personal development, I will tell you, you will bow out. You will. Like, you will throw your hands up in the air and you will quit. And it is so easy now that I've been doing this for a couple years. It is easy for me to spot my coaches who are doing personal development. And it's easy for me to spot my coaches who aren't doing personal development. And I can tell in their business. I can tell in the way they talk. I can tell in the way they show up for team calls and the way that they present themselves. It is so easy because when you are feeding yourself, we talk about our physical transformation all the time, but that's only a part of our health. You have to have the emotional, you have to have the physical, you have to have the social, you have to be well balanced in your health. And so, you have to do it. And so when you're not feeling good from the inside, that represents, go into a mall and watch how many people won't even make eye contact and watch their facial expressions. Look how miserable people are because they're not doing that emotional health. They're only working on maybe a part of their health. That's what separates us from so many other companies, is that we are not about a physical transformation. That is the added bonus of what we're doing with our emotional health, with our physical transformation, everything. And, to talk to people, to talk to coaches, to talk to customers. And I have started having my customers read personal development. And I started them off with the compound effect. Why? Because they understand that their choice that they make to a day is affecting what the result will be in 60 days. They understand completely that if they pick up that donut, that it's not going to make a big difference tomorrow. But if they pick up that donut for this morning and Monday through Friday before they go to work, it is going to make a difference. And so I highly suggest all of my challengers in my 60-day groups to read that as their personal development to start off, because they can fully understand that this is a process, that this isn't something that happens overnight. This isn't a magic shake. This isn't a magic program that if you put it in and sit on your butt, you're going to lose the weight. This isn't something that you put around your body to shrink your waist. Like, this is a legit company, and they want you to be better from the inside out, not the outside in. Because I'm sure you guys have had challengers who have been around and have been coaching for a little bit, who have an amazing transformation and they still hate themselves. Like, they still struggle with the fact that they have a mom pooch. They still struggle feeling good about themselves. I had one girl go from a size 21 down to a 14, and she still isn't comfortable, and she's still not loving it. And that missing piece, once she started doing personal development, that is when her transformation started happening. That's when her entire process started to change. And that's when she started feeling good about herself and the progress that she had made. And it's the same thing with coaching. If you're not feeling like you're making a difference, if you don't feel like you are getting up every morning excited to do this job that we get to do, you're missing that piece. And that's probably personal development. And I will say 9 times out of 10, I'm sure Breezy, who's been around even longer than I have, will tell you it's the same thing. That's almost always the missing piece. When coaches come to me and say, I'm struggling, we find out why they're struggling. Are they working on themselves first? What's the last personal development they've read? What was it? Is it applicable to what they want in their lives right now? Or is it just something they're picking up because they're being obedient and need to check it off on their business activity tracker? Because if they're reading something that's not even applying to their life, it's not going to matter. And I'll tell you, when I first started this journey, I was reading completely different books. The books I was reading were more church geared for me, because I was struggling with who I was as a mom and a wife. And so that's kind of what I leaned on and held to. And I still read those, but now I'm reading books on leadership, and I'm, expanding. I'm not a leader. I mean, like I said, I was a teacher. Like, this isn't something that is comfortable for me. This isn't something that is easy for me to present to you. And I can do it now because I have that confidence built up from this personal development for the last couple of years. So, if you're not doing it, start. I don't care if it's 2 pages a day, if it's 5 pages a day, whatever you're doing right now, up it. Like, that's all I have been doing this last 2 months, is just upping it. I have reread several books in the last couple months because I knew what I needed, and I've listened to this and I maybe got something different out of it than I did before. So, realize that I'm not perfect. I struggle, and I want that to be something that you guys understand. Like I said, you guys see the numbers sometimes and you think she has it easy, or it works out for her. And that's not the truth. If you were to see the emails of coach cancellations in my downline the last 2 months, I don't share those things. I don't share those numbers all the time. And I probably should with you guys, so you guys can see that it's not easy. If you could see, my income, yes, I'm grateful for the income I'm providing. But when it's down $1,000, $1,500 from the previous month, that's a huge amount. And that is failure. And I need to take that, if you haven't read Failing Forward, put that on your PD list, because Failing Forward is all I have right now. I only have the option to fail forward. I can only have the option to figure out why I had so many cancellations last couple months and why I only recruited 1 coach last month. And so I have to fail forward with that number. And because there's more to coaching than that Success Club. And so I want you guys to realize that, I'm not perfect. I have a hard time, and I'm trying to get out of that value, that low. I'm trying to climb to that peak again, to be on that natural high. But just like any other thing, you get to that peak and that beautiful mountain that's the very top of a hard hike, you eventually have to climb down and, climb another one. And so, I just want to hear your guys' personal development so we can get a good list of some personal development books that are out there for us to read. I am not going to call you out by name. I'm a teacher, and so if we sit in silence, someone will speak up. So I will let the silence happen. Don't think I'm just going to let it go. If you hear something that you love or you agree with or you have a question about, unmute yourself. I want you guys to feel like you guys can talk. We're a family, and we're in this together. That means you saw my tears, that means that you see the smiles, and we rejoice together, we celebrate our successes, but it's okay to cry with one another, and it's okay to understand. So if there's something that someone says that you might have an answer to, unmute yourself, pop on. We want to hear from that. So I will start, and then I'm done talking except for adding to people's comments or whatever it might be, because I will be done talking and I will sit in silence until other people start talking, because I just want a nice discussion. I just want to feel like we're at the dinner table right now. I'm not going to say dinner because I'm doing the 3-day refresh, so there is no dinner. But, I just wanted that to be like the vibe of this call tonight, is just to sit here and have a good chat, be together as a family, and inspire, uplift one another to be better today, tomorrow, and because we're in this together. So I will start. I am re-listening to the 21 Laws of, or Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Love that book. It's kind of where I'm at right now, is trying to figure out how to lead. I have told Breezy several times at the beginning that I could never make this work because I would never be a leader. And some of you guys are probably saying, what? But it's the truth. I never thought I was going to be a leader. And I shared this with my girls a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to reshare this because it just happened to be the part that I'm on today as we were driving and running errands. And it reminded me again where I needed work. And the 5th law of his leadership is called the law of addition. And he talks about the Costco CEO. And, he is successful. Like, who doesn't love going to Costco? Like, that's like a treat when you get to go into Costco, no kids, like, life's good, right? And so, but it's not just like that for the customers. Like, the employees love working there. Like, a lot of people, like, enjoy that job. And you wouldn't think, like, being a cashier would be someone's dream job, and it might not be their dream job, but people enjoy it. And so he talks about what he does differently than other places. And so, and his whole motto is that he believes that his success comes from treating his employees well. So, his employees make 42% more pay than the company's chief rival, which I'm assuming is Walmart, Sam's Club. Okay. He has an open door policy, and he knows everyone on a first name basis. And he spends time, like, during the holidays when people are working, he also works those with them. He doesn't expect anything out of his employees that he wouldn't be doing himself. He takes a significant pay cut. So, like, I can't remember the exact number. I didn't write it down. But compared to other CEOs of, like, retail market, I'm going to assume, again, like Walmart, Target, those companies, he makes significantly less than he does because he wants to make sure his employees are paid good and they have good benefits. So what is the result of this? The result is that Costco by far has the lowest turnover rate out of all of retail. Like, all of retail. He has by far the lowest turnover rate. And why did this strike me? Because, like I said earlier, if you could see the emails, like, shooting down, like, my emails every day, I'm afraid to open my inbox because I know I'm going to have that Beachbody notification of a coach cancellation. I know it's happening. And I've been, like, literally, you should see my phone notifications. I have, like, 20 emails because I'm afraid to, like, open it. I don't want to know. And so this stuck out to me because I want to figure out why he has this less turnover rate. And, he goes over, like the bottom line isn't how far we advance ourselves. It doesn't matter how far I can advance myself, but how I can advance others. And others meaning my customers, how can I advance them to make sure that they're, like, reaching their goals and that they're better at the end of the 60 days than when they started that 60 days? And how can I do that for my coaches? How can I make sure that I'm advancing them and not necessarily myself, while taking care of myself, though, making sure I'm still doing the vital behaviors. I'm still reading my personal development. I'm still hitting Success Club. So he asked in the book, he says, are you making things better for the people who follow you? And again, like, your coaches, think about that, your coaches. Are you really making things better for your coaches right now? Like, really ponder that. And he says that 90% of people will respond yes, but the answer is truly no. And so realize that. Are you really making things better for the people who follow you? Same thing with your followers, your Facebook followers, your like page followers. Are you adding value to them that they are wanting you to lead them. That they're not going to give up after that 60 days, that they want to continue on this journey because you didn't give up on them. And so that is what I have taken out of my personal development, especially today as I was listening to this and realizing, okay, how can I fail forward? How can I have a retention rate not drop so much like it has the last 2 months, and kind of go from there. So I'm done. If anyone wants to add, feel free, but I'm just going to mute myself, and whoever wants to pop on and inspire us, now is your turn.
I just want to share really quick because I have to go pick up my van for Ragnar, so I'm going to be hopping off. But so I had just finished reading a couple times, maybe 3 times, the 10X Rule, and it's by Grant Cardone, I think. And I'm just looking at my notes here that I wrote down, just trying to pick out some of my favorite parts. But one that stuck out to me, it's called the degrees of action. So obviously as coaches, we're either, taking action in our business or we're not. But he breaks it down into 4 degrees, and I loved him. And he talks about how at some point in our lives, we're one of these people, like always, like we've been through all of these. So the first one is do nothing. So these are the people that just do nothing. They have this opportunity in front of them, this coaching opportunity, and they do nothing about it. The second type of people are the retreaters. So they get into it. So you're a coach, you're excited, you get into it, you start maybe getting on trainings, you start learning things, and then you retreat out of fear. They get scared and they retreat and they hide. And then the third type of people is, okay, so the first 2, those are like the basis for failure. That's like how you fail, is you retreat or you do nothing. The third one is people that take a normal amount of action. So this is the people, this is like the majority of the population. They just they do the 3 vital behaviors maybe, but they just do the minimum. They do the minimum required. They take the normal amount of action, but then they fall into this idea of mediocrity. They're just mediocre, and they're kind of, then they feel like they're spinning their wheels. They're like, well, I'm doing something, but really it's not getting them anywhere because they're easily falling back down into the retreat mode as well, because they can get frustrated easy because they're just spinning their wheels. Then there's the 4th type of person who takes massive action. And that's kind of what the whole basis of this book is about, is there's enough success for everyone. There's enough success for you as a coach, every single coach in this business. You just have to take massive action. And what he talks about by massive action is, I like to apply it to the 3 vital behaviors. So your personal development, instead of, obviously you got to start somewhere. So if you start with 5 minutes, go, do it. But then bump it up, go 10, then double it, go 20. Start taking massive action in your life to further yourself, to get further ahead. It's called the 10X Rule. And so basically talks about 10Xing everything. So 10X those 3 vital behaviors, 10X those invites. And I love it because he just really makes it like, oh yeah, like I'm making these excuses. I'm putting myself into this mediocre, or I'm retreating because I'm fearful, when really I have this huge opportunity in front of me. And if I just start 10Xing my life, and I love it because I like to apply it to my other areas of my life too, like being a mom. I can totally 10X being a mom, so I can 10X being a wife. There's so much more I can do. I can 10X being a member of my church and a member of my community. I can just do more. So it's about doing more, and I feel like we always cut ourselves short. And so anyway, I love that book. And I know Brittany is reading it too, and she shared something fabulous today with Anyway, but I'm done. I love you guys.
Have fun at Ragnar, even if you are just driving. Okay. Yes, I'm reading the 10X Rule, and a disclaimer, there is one word that he says that's not appropriate. So my heads up. And here's another book that has language in it, but is still really motivating. I know. Is You Are a Bad A, the A word. But that's a good one. And I just wanted to say, not specific, well, I could share from the 10X Rule. He basically says, don't be a crybaby. We'll just leave it at that. He says, don't be a crybaby. And I shared this in in a page because I was a crybaby last month, and I know I'm embarrassed to say it, but not just that I literally shed tears, but that I didn't take ownership of what was going on in my business. And so reading this 10X rule was just like, hello, duh, it's because of you. Not in a bad way, but it's because of maybe what I'm not doing that certain things are happening in the business. So that was way good for me. And then the other thing I wanted to say is I just make a list in the back of my planner of what people suggest for personal development so that when I'm done with one, I can go find a new one like that someone suggested, just so I'm not finishing one and then wondering what am I going to read next kind of thing. The other thing is that when you read a certain book, it might not be the right timing for you, because I got the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster last year and I listened to audio. I remember specifically when I was training for Ragnar last year, that's what I was listening to. And it was great while running or whatever, but I pulled it back out this year and just like last month, right before the 10X rule. And it was seriously like spot on. Everything that he was talking about was like what was going on in the business for me. So it was just happened to be the right book at the right time. And sometimes you'll find that when you pick up a book or choose a new book that it's going to apply to you like specifically. So I'm not saying it's going to apply to you specifically right away, but put that one on your list to read in the future, the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, because this is a roller coaster ride. If you haven't figured that one out, you will have ups and downs, and I can attest to that. I'm done.
Okay, I'll share something. But I'm a brand new coach, and so mine's not very much leadership wise. But when I did one of Brittany's free challenges, I don't know how many months ago it was after Linux, a personal development was part of it. And so this was a book that we had gotten for our wedding like 7 years ago. So I decided to pull it out. And a lot of it seems like a lot of it is like second marriage type of stuff, like combining incomes, and if you have a lot of debt before and how to deal with that. But there was a section also that was just understanding why you have financial problems, and then debt management and planning for the future. And it just made me just think about, because we were actually in a very good place financially. We have some debt, but not extreme. And so it was really just being like eye-opening and planning for the future of what we have. And now that I've decided to coach, and there's going to be hopefully more income, but my husband also just graduated, and we do have student loans from him. And so a lot of it was just stop going further into debt. So like, don't buy things I don't need because they're cute. Or like being impatient. It was one of the big things that talked about with the debt. It was being impatient and not making your plans and following your plans, which I think really falls into business planning as well, and ventures like that. So it's by Dr. Bernard E. Poduska. I don't know, but it's Till Debt Do You Part. So there you go.
I love it. And I love that you're a new coach who totally unmuted yourself and spoke. That tells you right there that you're growing and that you are becoming a leader. So way to go.
Okay, I will share what I'm reading. And yes, Steph, way to go. I think it probably took me like over a year before I would unmute myself on these calls. So good job. Anyway, so I am listening to The Miracle Morning. I can't remember. Oh, Hal Elrod is the name of the author. Anyways, and the thing that I'm taking away the most right now from it is mindset, that this is a total mind game that we do with ourselves. And like, when I wake up tired in the morning, it's because I'm telling myself that I'm going to be tired. You know, I go to bed thinking, oh my gosh, I'm only going to get this much sleep. I'm going to be so tired. I'm not going to have a productive day tomorrow. I'm doing that to myself. I'm sabotaging myself by saying those things. And so one thing that I'm going to start doing that I've gotten from this book is affirmations, which I have resisted for years. You know, I've always thought, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe one day I'll do some affirmations. But I'm finding the power that they actually have. You know, we tell ourselves the same thing. Let's see. He said something in the book about how we have, like, most people have the same 75% of the thoughts are the same thoughts that they had the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that. And so that's why we don't see any change in our lives, because we're not changing our thoughts. And so if we can change our thoughts, we change our lives. Anyways, I am super excited about this book, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, changing your thoughts, that's the main thing that I've taken away from that.
I love, and I just want to add something you guys are going to find some corniness in me about right now. So there are multiple times I am having Post-it notes around my house or places that I see, especially like where I'm not at Success Club and I have a lovely 2 points on the board right now. And so I will have those, you will hit Success Club. You will, like, they're like hidden. Like, I'll like have them like in my like little drawer. Like, so I remember, and it's just those little words of affirmation that like remind you that you are capable and that there's a lot of like power with that, I guess. But total corny, I know, but it works. Put it in your car. If you're in your car all the time, like on the little speedometer, like put your little goal there and that you are going to do it and that you are capable of it. So I love that, Megan. I absolutely love it.
So I'm reading Miracle Morning 2. I just barely started it, so I'm not like super, I don't know, into it yet. But I think it's something I really need right now, because I just feel like with summer starting schedule, I feel like such a soul-oriented person that like summer started and I just feel like my brain's everywhere. So I think that is going to help me to just go to bed knowing what I'm going to do the next morning and plan for it. So yeah, I'm excited to read it, or listen to it, I guess, because I don't read. And I also really appreciate what you said, Ashley, because I feel the same way as you right now. Just feeling like every day I look at my email, I'm like, oh my gosh, another person. But the only thing we can do is keep moving forward and not looking behind us, because what's behind us is behind us. So yeah, that's all.
Love it. Love it. And I will say, and Breezy's the one who told me this, and I called being a crybaby to Breezy and just talking like what's going on. And one thing she said is like, you've really got to focus on the growth. And, you know, as these cancels or, you know, whatever it is, the growth's where it's at. And whether it's the growth of you, whether it's the growth, like I told Breezy, you know, the fact that my income dropped stinks, right? And, you know, $1,000, $1,500 a month, that's a lot of money that you don't bank on it because you never know what's going to come in, but that's quite a big like difference. But, you know, when I can still pay 2 mortgages in 1 month's paycheck, you know, to pay both of our mortgages each month, like I was not able to do that a year ago. I mean, I maybe could pay 1 in a good month, you know, and look at that growth. Yes, it went backwards. Yes, but hello, look at the compound effect and the growth that I had with that's just the financial. Like I said, the growth of me has been even better, you know, in this process. But when this is happening and you're in these crap holes, is the only way I like to describe it without using a curse word, is, you know, it's the only way to look at it is to look at the overall picture and the growth of what it might be. And it might not be a financial number. You know, it might be the number of lives you've changed. Think about that. When you started, 0. You have changed 0 lives before. I mean, you've influenced other people and done other things, and I'm sure you've changed lives in that aspect. But when it comes to health and fitness and people changing their lives, I mean, their overall, you know, health, financial, emotional, spiritual, all that, that's you. And when you started that, you started with 0 people, guys. Like, and to see that that number has blossomed, no matter how many people quit, I've still made an impact. I've still made a difference. So look at that growth when you're in these crap holes, you know, of your business, because they will happen. And if you haven't had one, prepare yourself, because it will. So up your PD now, because it will happen. It doesn't matter who you are. You know, top coaches will tell you the same things. Breezy, like when I was being a little crybaby to her as well, you know, last month, she screenshotted stuff on the 5-star wall, which is like the wall, all the 5 stars and above are in a Facebook group. She screenshotted a thread of all these coaches that were like legends for like 30, 40 months, and all of a sudden did not hit Success Club last month. So it's not just you, it's everyone. And we all have those pitfalls that we have to unclimb from. Of course, there's top coaches that excelled like crazy last month. So they're at different points in their business. So focus on that growth as well. So thanks for sharing that, girl. Back to silence until one of you guys speak up.
I will share. Don't really know what I'm going to share, but I will share. So I just finished the 10X Roll 2. And this guy seriously totally put me in my place constantly, the entire time in the entire book. And although part of it, I'm like, gosh, I feel like such an idiot. I feel so guilty. Like, why the heck did I totally screw up so much? At the same time, it was so motivating. And it was totally what I needed. I've had opportunities has been so hard for me. And because of that, I've been so stressed. I've been really struggling with a lot of things. And I had opportunities come up in that moment, and I shut them down. I told them no, and I'm kicking myself for it. You know, I had people with an entire stake asking me to provide a fireside on personal development. I had an entire stake invite me to do a fireside at a Relief Society thing on how to love yourself. I had another opportunity where they wanted me to go to Salt Lake City, which isn't even a city that I live in, to talk about my experiences with infertility and miscarriages and loving yourself despite it. And I thought, why the heck did I turn down 3 opportunities and where I need to be putting myself out there? I need to be getting myself out there, my name out there, where people are like, oh yeah, I know that girl. The more you get yourself out there, the more you get recognized, and the more people know who you are. And so I'm beating myself about it because I'm like, those were 3 ginormous opportunities. None of them were my stake. None of them were like people that I would know. Yet my name would get out there. And somehow they found out about me, and I was the recommendation. And I could have taken opportunity with that. And so for me, the main thing is if you get opportunities, even if they scare the crap out of you, say yes. Always, always, always say yes, and then figure it out. For me, I was like, that's way too out of my comfort zone. I am not doing that. And so I said no. But I should have said yes and then figured it out. And so since then, I've been trying to find opportunities. So I've been going to like water aerobics and going to all these things that I would have never, ever, ever done. And I go to like water aerobics, and everyone's like, oh, I've seen you before. Who's that girl? And everybody's like, oh yeah, I've seen you too. Who are you? And everybody was saying it. And then finally one girl peeps out, and she's like, oh, she's that fitness chick. And then everybody, oh yeah, she has that fitness page on Facebook. And so everybody was like, oh wait, what is this page? What is this page? And they started following on my like page. So you guys, like, get yourself out there. Show up at things. If you ever get an opportunity, if anyone asks you to do something, stink and do it. Same within our lives. Like, we don't have to try and figure out how to balance things. We don't have to choose one thing over the other. We don't have to choose our coaching business over our husband, or our husband over our coaching business, or choose our children or our coaching business, or choose a clean house or our children. We can find success in all areas of our life as a coach. We don't have to choose. Make the choice just to do it, say yes, and then figure it out. So that was my thought for the day.
You go, girl. I love that, Sass. It's awesome. That's what personal development does. Like, and Crystal, don't beat yourself up over those. Like, look at you. Like, people already know you. They asked you to do this kind of stuff knowing that you were amazing. So, you know, and like you said, you fail forward and now you know what you need to do better. And I love it.
I guess I'll go next. Can you guys hear me? Oh, okay. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm a new coach, and I just finished reading The Miracle Morning, and I have to say, it was a miracle, I guess, if I can put it in that way. It was amazing to be able to understand a different perspective of life, you know, to be able, he talks about Miracle Morning, you know, mainly in the morning, but you can pretty much do your own Miracle Morning at any time. It was nice to be able to make time for me, to know that it is important to make time for me so I can succeed in every aspect of my life as a mother, as a wife, in this new adventure of being a coach, you know, that it starts with me. And once I start growing individually, people will start noticing that. And it's very inspiring, like you guys were saying, information. You know, if you read the book, it says, he talks about this show where that guy's talking to himself in the mirror. And I've been doing that. You know, I've lost, since I started the 21-day fix, I've lost 10 pounds. And you would think that 10 pounds, it's noticeable to everybody around me, but it's not. But it is to me. So I go to the mirror and I tell myself, I lost 10 pounds. You know, I talk to myself back and forth, give myself that affirmation that nobody, even though everyone around me is not seeing the change, I am. Because the change is not physical, it's coming from inside. Like, I'm making the changes. Like, I'm waking up 10, 15. Like, last week I woke up an hour earlier. And it's like, what am I doing awake at this time? You know, I need to go to bed. Why? You know? And then I have that in, I put my alarm to the other side so I can actually wake up. You know, I have the glass of water right next to me. And it's just the little things, you know, like, and I really appreciate whoever posted that, you know, in one of their meetings, you know, the Miracle Morning, because it has made a difference to me. And it's very motivating to be able to wake up early, get your day started, take care of you, take care of your development. And then the rest of the day, it's like it feels like such a long day where you have more things to do. And it's just, I mean, for me, it has been an incredible journey since I started coaching. So it's kind of where I'm at.
I love it. What's your name?
Mayerlin.
Uh-huh. Well, someone else me to repeat that.
Mayerlin.
Myelene?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Girl, you're going to go far. Look at that. Like, the fact that you have dove into personal development and you're already, like, taking it, applying it into your life, like, you've got this. You've got this phase that you're already in that step. I mean, you're already taking leaps in the right direction. So I don't know who your coach is, but work closely because you've got this, girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'll go. So I read this, it was probably like a month ago, but The Go-Giver. And that was probably one of my favorite books that I read. It's nice because it's kind of like a story, so it's easy to listen to. But it just kind of changed my mindset about the products and about how we share on Facebook and stuff like that. And it talks about more like the more that you give to your clients and give to your customers, the more value that you provide to your people is the more you're going to get back in return. So I just kind of went through this period where I just felt like I was selling, and I hate feeling like that. And so this kind of just helped change my mindset that it's more about sharing and adding value to your clients. And the more that you help them, the more you'll get in return. And so I think this is a book that I've recommended for my new coaches, is just
to change your mindset from you're not a salesman, you're just sharing, you're helping other people, and that will come back in return. So yeah. And then, so I did have a question. What do you guys read or recommend for like your self-image and like your new, well, actually for me, but also for my new, my customers and new challengers and stuff like that, but just for like self-image and boosting your confidence and stuff like that. Any recommendations?
One that a lot of my challengers have liked is Gifts of Imperfection.
Okay.
I am trying to think of the author's name, and it's a lady. I might have
Book. Brene Brown.
Yeah. Who is it?
Brene Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one of her books, but I can't stand listening to the audio for her. So, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I just can't listen to some people. So she's one of those that I can't listen to, but I will have to buy the book and actually read it.
Yes, I have a couple of those myself that I have turned off audios and have read the book instead. But hers is really good. Like all of hers are really good with that kind of stuff too. So, okay. We have a few more minutes. I'm going to be quiet.
I guess I'll go. I'll make it quick, I promise. Finished listening to The Energy Bus. I heard Breezy mention it. I don't remember. It was on some call a couple months ago. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And it's all about positivity and the energy around you and how you reflect your attitude and your energy onto other people. And so like if you have a negative attitude towards everything, then that kind of is projected onto everybody. So if you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I don't want people feel that even in your messages, like you're not talking to people, but it's still true how you're saying things, even in like Facebook Messenger. And so, you know, I've been trying to apply this with talking with my coaches, with messaging people, and even like in my family. And I don't know, I've felt that it's been a really great, so, and it's a really good audiobook. This guy's not weird to listen to like the Brene Brown lady. I feel the same. I can't handle audiobooks. And it's not her speaking though. It's some other woman that reads the books. I like listening to Brene Brown, but whoever reads the audiobooks, I can't handle her voice either. She makes me want to fall asleep. Yeah, that's that.
Last chance. Okay. One thing real fast, I'm just going to share my screen. Just saying, guys, like my cheeks hurt from like smiling, just like listening to you guys talk and to see you guys carry yourselves and like to see the growth. Some of you guys I've known for longer than others, and some I've been coaching. I'm starting to get to know you more, and it's cool just to see like you guys come in. It's like some of you guys have come in and out of coaching and have had good, you know, you have shined away from coaching for a little bit because it terrified them and came back. And it's cool to kind of be on the 2-year mark because I can see the growth in you guys, and to sit here and just feel rejuvenated and uplifted by you guys. Like this is the best thing about having like the tribe page is just being able to like be a family and just like, you know, be excited for one another. And like Breezy said, like anyone can do this. It really is. Just how much you want to push for it. So just so you guys know, I don't know if you guys know this is here or not, in the Tribe page under files, there is a personal development tab. So here it is, personal development. If you click on here, there's a big Google Doc of personal development recommendations. There's also a Google link by topic. So you can literally, in fact, I'll just click on this so you guys can see the different topics. And don't mind my 10,000 windows open still. But that's there just so you guys can see kind of the separation. So like some good coach starters, dreaming big, time management, leadership, personal growth, confidence, personalities, overcoming adversity, relationships, business. There's tons of different books there that you guys can look at. And then there's also in this this file, there's recommendation podcasts for personal development and or business building. And there are some actual audiobooks for you guys, like free. These are completely free that you guys can listen to. Eat That Frog's there, Go for No, Compound Effect, The Teachings of Jim Rohn, 7 Reasons Why People Fail, 5 Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. So these are all there. There's also some other YouTube, from a Super Saturday that was held that is there. So there's resources available to you guys right in the files page. So I wanted you guys to make sure that you guys were aware of that and that you guys have access to that. So these are free. So don't let cost ever be a reason that you're saying personal development is not going to happen, because it's there for you. It gives you a good jump start and a good list to get going. There's stuff that you can listen to right there that's completely free. Until you get your first couple paychecks to get your first personal development book. So no excuse. Don't make that an excuse. Get rid of that. And just like I said, if you're not doing personal development, start with 5 minutes. Start with a measly 5 minutes. Like, on Amazon, you can buy a shower speaker. It's literally like 10, 15 bucks. If you have Prime, free shipping. Like literally, you shower for 10 minutes. What are you doing in there? Like, literally, so put on some personal development and, while you're in the shower, like that might be your only peaceful, quiet time during the day because you don't have kids. Well, that's not true because half the time they're in there anyways. But like, it's a more opt time to be quiet if you're going to have one. So, find time. If you get up 15 minutes earlier before your kids get up, or stay up 15 minutes later, like you have that option and you are in control of that. And like Brittany had said before, like you have those choices. You can cry about it, or you can realize what is slacking in your business and what you're not doing to meet those goals. And when you fail, there's only one direction to go, and that's forward. And that's really what it comes down to. And so we do, this has been an amazing night, I know, for me to be rejuvenated, uplifted. If you're struggling, dive into it. And, I still have a goal of hitting Success Club. I'm at 2. If I can hit Success Club 10 by the end of the month and still have that goal, actually my goal is 15. But if I can hit Success Club 10, and we are the 15th now, 16th, so I'm a day behind still. Like I didn't hit my goal, Success Club 10 by the 15th, but I will hit it. I won't make, I'm going, that's my goal. No excuse goal. So, and if I can do this, you guys can do it. I'm no different. I just show up consistently. I'm consistent in the 4 vital behaviors and doing the power hours every day. So do it. Just do it, guys. Just be consistent and know that we are there for you. You guys, it's either me or Breezy or your Star Diamond coach right now. And so reach out to your coach, reach out to your Diamond coach if you're not getting exactly what you need. And, we're here together. So realize that we love you all. Breezy said that earlier. I'm sure you guys saw that message, but we think about you often. We know your guys' names, except for you new ones, we're learning. But we talk about you in good ways that, you know, we're there. We see your growth. We talk about your guys' growth. We see your struggles, and we talk about how we can help you guys overcome those struggles. So realize that we are here for you. If you need anything, let us know. But you guys have a fabulous night, and we will talk to you guys later.